This show is a part of the Quite the Thing Media Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of the Gamers Watch podcast. My name is Harry and as always I'm joined by Shaun.
Hey.
And this week it's just us. No guests, no Dutch, no Dunks, no Tom, no anybody.
Just us and a pool of sweat.
Yes. So for those of you outside of the UK, it is currently unbearably hot. It's basically like we live on the sun. It's currently 32 degrees Celsius at almost 10 o'clock at night. And obviously we've got a few listeners from like southern states of America. I don't care if this is normal for you. This ain't normal for us. So
we're paley ghost people. We shouldn't be subjected to this fucking heat.
Unbearable. It's not nice whatsoever. So we're going to struggle our way through. We're going to bring you some Xbox news. We're going to talk about Worms Rumble. We're going to talk about our community day. We're going to talk about how I was a little bit trigger happy blocking a few people. And then we're going to talk about the worst trailer of all time. But first of all, before we get into that, just wanted to say thank you to all our new listeners and all our new followers. Shaun,
Yeah.
have you seen the stats recently for our listeners?
You told me about the first 2 days of last episode.
So we are currently sitting on 2,300 downloads since the middle of May, which is utterly insane. And yeah, our last episode was our most listened to episode after 3 days. So that sort of came out of nowhere. I guess we can chase clouts quite well.
Got
Funny that.
Bit of clout momentum behind us at the moment.
But I think what also does massively help is that I know that people are sharing this podcast at the moment with their friends. We get a couple new followers sort of every day. We get a few messages every now and again just to say, oh, XYZ sent me across to the show. And that is really helpful for us. We're still like a baby in terms of a podcast. You know, we're only, 8 months old. So to have this amazing following that we already do and these amazing listeners, like all of you, is really great. But it's not enough, so get us more. So send this to... Who should we send it to this week? I'll tell you what, let's send it to your local weatherman because it's so hot that he needs to hear our struggle. The struggle
your
is
local
real.
Rain Man.
Yes. Everybody do a rain dance. Wait, when you say Rain Man, do you mean send it to Dustin Hoffman? Is that what you mean?
Just anyone that can fucking make it rain.
Fair enough. So send it to your local Rain Man, not the 1980s film with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, but somebody who can somehow change the weather.
Summon
that
the heavens to open
sense. Also, just to let everyone know, Mick Foley doesn't listen to us yet, but we're going to work on that. All right.
Love the yet.
We're working on it.
We will get a thumbs up from
Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. They will all listen to us, and that will be 4 new followers and 4 new downloads per week. So we will get him soon. If you don't already, follow us on Twitter. Shaun, what is our Twitter handle?
It is @GamersWatchCrew.
Boom. Yes, it is. Also, if you can, we would love for you to leave us a review if you have the ability to do so. Some platforms don't allow you. Most of them do. So please do leave us a review if you do enjoy this show. And what else should they do, Shaun?
Buy our bloody merch.
I've not had anyone say they don't like it this week, so...
That's a improvement from last week.
Also, huge improvement from last week. One thing I did want to say was Dan from Gunners Lake. Just wanted to say hello. I know you're a listener, and just keep well, mate. Just keep well. So, Shaun, should we go straight into Xbox? Yeah, beauty. Should we go straight into Xbox news brought to you by absolutely nobody?
Yeah. Or is it the midweek mix-up collective now?
Yes. I'll tell you, yeah. Let's go through Xbox news brought to you by the midweek mix-up collective.
Imagine us saying brought to you by absolutely nobody, and Dutch has just sat there like, you fucking what?
It's like the picture of Wolverine where he's got the photo frame and he's just looking at a picture of us like, oh, okay, guys, that burns.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you there, Harry, because it's klaxon o'clock. And that means it's time for our competition to win 6 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, courtesy of the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. Now, for this competition, we are going to be putting 4 passwords in our episodes. This is episode 2 of the competition, so if you missed the last one, then catch up. And all you got to do is message us each of the 4 passwords to be in with a chance of winning. This week's password is pumpkin. So if you want to win 6 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, just send us a message on Twitter at GamersWatchCrew with the word pumpkin. Okay, you can carry on now, Harry.
Now, Shaun, we've got some games coming to Xbox, haven't we?
We got so many games coming up for the second half of July.
What are the biggies?
Well, there's 11 in total, like new additions to Xbox Game Pass, and then there's one that's going to cloud, and that's Battlefield 5, which is obviously already part of EA Play and therefore Xbox Game Pass, which will be. I'm kind of tempted to try it because it's a big first-person shooter to go to cloud gaming. Also joining Xbox Game Pass today, as in day of recording, so it's already out now.
Which is the 20th of July.
Yep, is Christ Tales for cloud console and PC. And then because there's so many, I'm just going to wrap off the names and then the 2 main ones I'll leave to last. So July 22nd is Atomicrops for cloud console and PC. I'm hoping I pronounced this right. Raji, an Ancient Epic for cloud console and PC. Last Stop, cloud console and PC. Blinks, the Time Sweeper for cloud and console. That's July 26th. And then also on the 26th is Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge. Breath. And then July 29th is
It's not easy, is it, talking non-stop, Shaun?
July 29th is Lethal League Blaze and Omno. And then
that looks really good, by the way, Omno. I've looked into that.
Seen screenshots of it, and it does look interesting. I think it
looks really good.
Is it just one guy? Because I'm pretty sure I saw
single dev.
Saw him post on Reddit as well, on the indie dev subreddit about it. But yeah, that looks good. And then July 29th as well, there is a PC only game called Project Wingman, which looks kind of Ace Combat-y from the screenshots I've seen so far.
Nice.
So I'll be looking forward to installing that and then realizing that my laptop's not powerful enough to play any games. So
now, Shaun,
yes.
I feel like you've left 2 games out.
I have. I've left one on July 29th called The Ascent.
That looks incredible.
Yep, I think we're going to have to rig some votes so we can do co-op of that for Game Pass or Play. And then also one that is coming out on July 27th, so 2 days before The Ascent, that we're definitely rigging to play.
Yes.
It's Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh boy.
The first 2 games from the Xbox and Bethesda E3 showcase are coming to the Xbox Game Pass in the next few weeks.
And also, just wanted to let everybody listening know, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the reason that I bought a Series X over a Series S. So I am very excited about that game. Oh boy.
Well, we were talking about it before recording. I want to try and land in the Hudson River.
You do.
And dress up as Tom Hanks. Tom Honks.
Tom Honks. We were talking about sort of where we want to go and all these amazing places. And me and Shaun, we both said exactly the same thing. We want to see our house. Do you want to see the Himalayas? Do you want to go to the Andes? The Grand Canyon? I want to see Newton Abbot Town Centre, please. So we're going to be flying around Newton Abbot.
Oh, what did you spend 6 hours doing? Did you go to the pyramids or the Sphinx? No,
I saw Courtney Park.
I went to Ellicombe to see where that guy got stabbed last weekend.
Yeah. God, we're going to have some absolute fun on that, aren't we?
I don't know what big area I'll go to first, to be honest.
I know exactly where I'm going first. I am going to go to the Grand Canyon and I'm going to fly in the canyon.
You're not going to wait until you can do that as Tom Cruise?
No. I want to do it in a big jumbo jet and see how low I can get.
Fair enough.
Or more than likely is I'll just fly around where we live. Just non-stop. Yeah, so I'm really excited for Flight Sim. Obviously, we spoke about it last week.
Yeah, I know there'll be one point in the first few days it comes out where I'll be like, I'll fly from Gatwick to Egypt, and then I'll get halfway through the flight and be like,
halfway through, mate, you'll get to Dover. Yeah, you'll take off from Gatwick and be like, this is taking ages. Oh my God.
This is just reminding me of how bad the flight was to actual Egypt.
Yeah, God. Well, I'm very excited for both of those games. I think the Ascent looks stunning, and obviously Flight Sim, it's just real life. Basically, you're just flying actual planes in the real world, so very excited about that. And there's also another Game Pass game that we just need to quickly talk about, isn't there, Shaun? Because
Is there?
there's been some news about it. Psychonauts 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was still thinking
So,
of the list today.
Double Fine released some technical specs on Psychonauts 2 to show the performance that it will run at across the consoles. Twitter has sort of lost their mind about this, and I don't really know why. Do you understand why people are annoyed, Shaun?
No. I could understand disappointment maybe if you have certain platforms, but not annoyance.
But okay, so we'll just cover it very quickly. Psychonauts 2 will run at, I believe it's 4K 60 or 1440 120 on the Series X, and it will run 1080 120 on the Series S. It won't run anything higher than 30 frames on the PS5, and the reason for that is there is no PS5 version of this game, and so it's just playing it through backwards compatibility through PS4, because when the game was announced in Kickstarter, the new consoles hadn't been announced, and then Microsoft bought the studio and paid all of the costs to have the next gen version made, and people have said for years Xbox have no games, so they're like, okay, let's have an Xbox Series X exclusive, and now people on Twitter are saying it's unfair and it's not nice, and it's not my fault I've got a PlayStation. I should be able to play it at the good frame rates. Really easy thing you can do is just get Game Pass and play it on a PC or on your phone. So,
or for the low price of $20.99, get all access for 2 years and get yourself a Series S and Game Pass, which that's such a good deal.
So there is options.
When I got the Series X, because all my cheap Game Pass tactics ran out, I was paying the full price of $10.99 a month for Ultimate. So for £10 more a month, I get a Series S as well.
Yeah. So there's an easy way to play Psychonauts 2 in 4K 60 or 1440 120. Buy an Xbox, and that's the end of that. There we go. People say, oh, if you want to play Ghost of Tsushima, buy a PlayStation. No, I'm right. Don't want to. And I realise sometimes there'll be games that play better on Sony consoles because that's what Sony want to do. There will be games that run better on Xbox because that's what's going to happen. And whatever. Get over it. Who cares?
Like I said, I can understand being, I can't remember what word I used now. Was it disappointed? Yeah, because obviously if you can't play it at its best version, if you really want to play it, then obviously you're going to be disappointed, but you shouldn't be annoyed because
whatever. Get an Xbox. There you go. Problem solved.
Both sides do it.
It's not Microsoft's fault that Sony have really shit backwards compatibility. You know, the fact that Microsoft have been putting loads and loads of time and effort into 60 frames 4K updates for previous generation games, and Sony haven't been doing that, is not the fault of Microsoft. Like, whatever. Get over it. Get an Xbox. Next. Because this one's really annoying. This one has really pissed me off. Shaun, talk to me about it.
Tencent have bought Sumo Digital, the creators of Crackdown 3.
Which was shit.
Okay. Modern Sonic games. Okay.
Some good, some bad.
And Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
My Sackboy.
So 1.3 billion.
Yeah, to this day, Sackboy, the new Sackboy obviously, is one of the most well-designed games of the past year. In terms of level design. Just I've said it before on whatever episode it was that it came out around, that the music and the way it ebbs and flows with the level designs for each and every level is amazing. Yeah, it's so well paced, and now I ain't gonna get the sequel that I really wanted.
Well, you might do. It will just probably not be very good.
Be a mobile free-to-play game.
Yeah. Also, very quickly, can we just talk about a mobile game? This isn't in our Xbox news, blah blah blah. Very quickly, Kotaku, being the ever professionals that they are.
Yep.
Oh my god. So yes, the new XCOM looks shit. It's a mobile game that is just 2K at their very worst, right?
Yeah.
But you cannot call your article 2K have made new XCOM and it looks shit. Like, get over yourself. Seriously. That is a really dumb, stupid, like angsty teenager trying to look cool. And I think that just epitomizes Kotaku at the moment. They're like the angsty emo kid that says, you just don't understand me, man. We do understand you. We just don't care about you. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly throw that out there. One of the worst articles I think I've ever written, ever read.
You've ever written?
Ever. I was going to say one of the worst articles ever written.
The Secret Life of Harry.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what.
Kotaku writer.
That explains it all. Tencent have basically decided that no one gets to relive Sackboy. There'll be no more Crackdown. And yeah. All those modern Sonic games.
I really wanted Dawn French and another Sackboy game as well.
Not going to happen, mate. You'll have to wait for Vicar of Dibley Simulator. Yeah.
Is it bad that I would actually play that?
I would as well. Are you sure you want to continue? No. Yes. To all our American listeners who don't know what the Vicar of Dibley is, couldn't care less. Right, we've got a little bit more news. Going to be very quick on this one. It's very loosely Xbox related. But the Steam Deck, which is a really dumb name, the Steam Deck has been announced as a portable, handheld, high-end, medium to high-end spec console PC combination that I think starts at $400. The big thing sort of Xbox-wise is IGN have confirmed that although the system runs on Linux, you can wipe and launch Windows and it can then run Game Pass through the system. I just don't care. Like, whatever.
You're really that fussed about it?
I couldn't care less, mate. And I said this before the podcast, all I see this being is a handheld Steam machine. The only good thing that I think's come out of this is I made a picture of Seymour Skinner holding a platter with a Steam Deck saying, "Oh no, I said Steam Deck." Like, I just don't care. Yes, it will be cool if there's a Game Pass element to it and you can get Windows installed and you can play Game Pass games through it. But like, whatever. I just don't think it's going to do anything whatsoever. It's going to be all this massive amount of noise, people pre-ordering it, people buying it, and it's just going to be a Steam machine in your hand. And also, the last thing I'll say about this is the button configuration looks horrendously bad. It looks like my hands got cramp looking at the thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that does not look comfortable.
No, and it looks heavy.
The trackpad as well looks a bit... Yeah. Like, I was trying to picture how I would hold it and use it, and I couldn't quite figure it out.
In the bin is where I would hold it.
I see.
What do you think about it then, Shaun? What are your overall thoughts on it?
I think it looks good. I reckon I would enjoy it. My only worry would be for people who are getting it who don't actively use Steam or are like active PC gamers at the moment, because I don't quite see it being a thing that's going to be like future generations of it. And obviously, once the specs are completely out of date, you're a bit buggered when it comes to getting new games for it. Because they've said that you can't, because obviously how compact everything is in it, you can't switch up and upgrade different components of it. So unless they bring out another one in a few years' time,
which defeats the purpose. Much like the Steam machine.
Well, it's basically like a generation. But obviously, if they only do one generation and you don't use Steam on your PC, then all the games you buy, you're still going to be able to use those games, but you're not going to be able to get any more new games on your Steam account, if that makes sense.
No. And also, the base model runs 64 gigabytes. That's not even enough to download half of GTA 5.
No.
So the starting model, people are like, "Wow, it's only $399. That's £50 more expensive than the OLED Switch." They're forgetting the fact that it won't be able to serve its purpose because you could possibly install maybe 5 indie games on it or half of a AAA game, and they haven't yet confirmed if you can swap out the SD cards with standard SD cards. They haven't spoken about that. So
I think they did say you can use SD cards of any size, so like micro SD or SDXC or whatever the fuck they're all called now.
There's a very specific one that basically someone worked it out that you could buy the normal one plus then like a 1 terabyte SD card, but then they couldn't confirm if that SD card would run correctly. So although you could save games on it, they weren't. So you can put an SD card in there, but they can't tell you whether or not it will be able to draw the data off of it in order to run it properly. So yeah, they're very, very vague about what you can do in terms of the internal memory. That's a big worry, because even the highest spec one, I think, which comes with half a terabyte, that's like $700. Who's paying $700 for something that could only last you 3 or 4 years that you wouldn't be able to then customize? The whole point of PC gaming is that you can't. It's like an evolution. There's no generations. You evolve the PC. It's like this Steam Deck just negates that. I don't see a place for it. But then I didn't see a place for the Series S, so
I was going to say,
wrong.
I can see a place for it in the here and now, especially with people obviously being very disappointed at the old Switch Pro stuff that went on and it being a Switch OLED instead. But yeah, it's the longevity that if Valve commit to doing generations with it, I can see the Steam Deck being very successful. If they don't, then it's a bit of a stuck in the mud sort of situation in a few years' time for it. But only time will tell.
I just don't think it's going to do much. I think we'll be having a conversation on this podcast in a year's time going, fuck, do you remember that stupid Steam Deck thing? That's what I personally think. Talking of stupid things, can we talk about Game Pass or Play, Shaun?
I believe we can, yeah.
Yes.
It's that time.
Now, I'm going to do all the talking because Shaun hasn't had the opportunity to play this game. We'll talk about why in a second. This is probably going to be the shortest Game Pass or Play I think I've ever done.
It's just one word.
Worms Rumble is shit. It's not a
Kotaku
Worms
headline
game.
right there.
Yeah. I've played the new Worms game and it looks like shit. It just isn't good. Terrible matchmaking. It's not a Worms game. I don't know if you've seen any gameplay for it, Shaun, but basically it's an online multiplayer team deathmatch Worms in real time. So it's not turn-based. I thought it was going to be like original Worms, but you controlled one worm and it's really fast-paced. It's not that. So all the worms are just running around the maps at all times, and there's random weapon drops, but you can only hold 2 weapons at a time, and then if you die, all your weapons drop on the floor, and then other worms can steal your stuff. But from what I could tell, there's no in-game chat, so no one can communicate with each other. The maps are all laid out really awkwardly so that there'll be times where there's just nobody around, and there'll be other times where you spawn like right inside the enemy's like base, and there's like 20 of them and they just all kill you.
Right.
It doesn't look nice. I played probably about 15 games when my matchmaking would allow me to, because like I said earlier, it's got some of the worst matchmaking servers I've ever witnessed in my life. When I finally got into games, most of them were already like halfway through. I never started a game like at the beginning. It's not a Worms game. It's not good. Just so isn't good.
Is it like side-scrolling like the old
side-scrolling,
Worms, or is it like when it went Worms 3D?
No, it's side-scrolling, and that's the only thing about this game that is similar to any other Worms game is the fact that you play as a worm. Like, that's it. It's just not fun, and that's the problem. Is Worms games. I remember playing Worms Armageddon, which is really it's the only one I've properly played. I played a 3D one a little bit on
Worms
PS2.
3D was amazing.
But I really, really loved Worms Armageddon, and I was playing this, and I did the tutorial, and it just didn't feel right. And then I got into my first game, and there was just neon lights everywhere, and everything was just exploding and flashing, and there were elevators and lifts, and there were just escalators taking you to different places, and I never knew what was going on. And the really annoying, you aim with the right stick, but there's so much going on at the screen at any one time that you're never really aware of where you're supposed to shoot or where you're shooting or what weapon you've got up. It's a pass, and I don't want to talk about Worms Rumble anymore. It's one of the worst games that I've had the misfortune of downloading onto my Xbox since we've done this podcast.
So it's a hard pass.
Hard pass. And if you play this game and you enjoy it, you're wrong. You're
There's
just
the
wrong.
line.
You're just not right. I don't get that this game is not good in any way, shape, or form. Unless I'm playing it wrong, unless I had the controller upside down the entire time, I don't get it. Not fun. Didn't enjoy any of the 2 or 3 hours that I had in it. And I'll tell you what, the first game that I played was just as boring. Well, just as it's exactly the same experience. So no matter what map I was on, or no matter who I played with, or what team I was on, my experience of Worms Rumble was aimlessly running around for like 15 minutes, finding someone else, and then just spamming the shoot button until one of us died, and then either respawning and doing that exact same thing again, or instantly being killed by somebody else because I had no health. Yeah, really boring. Wouldn't play it again. I'm going to give it 3.5 worms out of 20.
Fucking hell.
So 1.25 out of 10.
3 holy hand grenades out of 30.
Yeah, just
Or
not
what other
fun.
things
Just
are there?
didn't enjoy it.
Banana
So,
bombs.
yeah, give it a miss.
Or
Not
or
good.
2 incoming out of 50.
God, I can't believe you just did that. Oh my god. I'll tell you
Oh,
what
that
it
hurt my
doesn't
throat.
get, Sean. And I'm
Yeah.
going to put the thunder crackle. It doesn't get the wandering Dutch flame of approval. Just wasn't very good. Just shit. Can we talk about something else now, Sean?
If it was a media service, it would be the Kotaku of games.
Yes. Yeah, Worms Rumble is the Kotaku of Worms games.
Yeah,
You've
that sounds
got-
right.
You've got Worms Armageddon, who's a good gaming, Lords of Gaming. Oh, yeah, see what I did there.
Hey.
And then you've got, Worms Rumble, which is the, like, GameSpot, IGN, Kotaku of Worms games. Just shit. Just really not good. Didn't enjoy it. Can we talk about something else, please, Sean?
Yeah.
Let's do our game in 60 seconds, Sean.
Yep, I've got mine right here.
Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to talk to everybody about the games from last week. Now,
Yeah.
I've got a slight problem, Sean.
Please tell me you remember yours from last week.
I didn't do mine last week, did I?
Oh, Duncan did it.
Duncan did his haiku, but
Yeah.
I don't remember his haiku.
It was something like "Be gone, bipedal ants, something cows."
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put the same like music in behind you saying that.
It's just saying cows really like confused.
Something bipedal
Cows?
ants. Your cows. So that was Duncan's clue. And if you couldn't guess it from that, it was destroy all humans.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't get it as soon as he told us after.
I know. I still didn't get it. Now,
Because
Sean,
I said last episode I had 2 games in mind, and the cows was destroy all humans, but the ants thing, my mind was on grounded because
yeah, but
of
I had
all the,
done
like,
Grounded
recent
the
news.
week before, hadn't I?
Yeah, but you didn't do the haiku.
Oh yeah, I didn't, did I? Duncan did it. For fuck's sake.
So yeah, I can't believe it was destroy all humans.
And what was your clue?
My one was, my reflection just told me he only plays games on hard mode because it's much more rewarding.
And what was that?
And that was Mirror's Edge.
I'll give you that one.
Yep. I was
Because
in a
he's
mirror,
being edgy.
and he's being edgy, or being
I'll
a
give you
prick.
that one. Yep. Yeah, Mirror's Prick, I don't think is a game.
It can be. I'll make it.
Mirror's absolute bell end.
Enter the
Isn't-
Quaintrix next week. Mirror's Prick.
Mirror's Prick, yeah. It's
Oh,
the version of Mirror's Edge where you play as the like corporation.
Well, you. Whenever I can't remember her name. Whenever she goes to jump off a building, you just have to nudge her slightly off balance.
Yeah,
so she just
well-
goes flying.
Yeah, you just untie her shoelaces. She's about to jump. Oops, sorry.
Mirror's Prick.
Mirror's Prick. Bye. Now, Sean, I'm going to do my clue while I've got it in my head.
Okay.
I am properly chuffed with this clue. I think it's a belter. And I
Right.
told you before the show, didn't I?
Yeah, it is
It's one
a
of
good
my best ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, oh no, don't put Earth down on the table. You'll leave a little water ring. Put it on that. So don't leave Earth on the table. It's going to leave a little water ring. Just put it on that instead.
Oh,
It's a good one, that one.
yeah, I'll give you that one. That is good.
And Shaun, what is
Mine-
your game?
My game in 60 seconds is I only settle for the highest grade deodorants. I
And
only
that is
settle
also a good one.
for the highest grade deodorants.
I will
Yeah, I
give
think
you
we've
that
done
one.
well this week.
Also, just want to apologise because the last game in 60 seconds, we've got this little DM group with a few of our listeners, and
Oh, you spoiled it, didn't you?
Bleep was like, "Oh, I give up. I don't know it." So I told him the answers, and he was like, "Yeah, Zoe is still trying to guess." So I had to come up with a separate one for her. Now, I think it was a good clue.
I didn't get it at all, even after reading through you trying to explain to
So the clue that I gave to them, and I'll tell you what the answer was in a second. The clue that I gave to them was, I'm in the middle of digesting affection, right?
yeah.
I'm in the middle of digesting affection. So what's another word for digesting? Is eating, right?
Well, not really, because you eat something and then you digest it.
Nah, shut up. So digest is eat.
So it's slight.
Another word for affection is Shaun.
No, I'm sorry, but if you say that
Shut
eating
up.
and digesting are the same,
Same thing.
then frantic and desperados are the same.
Shut up. Same thing. So what's another word for affection?
Love.
Eating. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, love.
Depends
So-
what species you are. If you're one of those ones that eats your mate after.
To all those praying mantises that listen to our show, hello.
And I think there's a few ants in there.
Yep,
Or
and Black
spider
Widow
or something.
spiders. So yeah, any Black Widow spiders or why the fuck am I talking to bugs, Shaun? Right. So
Talking to bugs.
yeah, I just said if there's any praying mantises listen to this show. What am I talking about? So
The heat's got to us.
it has. So if you're digesting something, you've eaten something. So eat and love. So I'm in the middle of eat and love. So eat, love, eat, pray, love. So the game's
Where does
pray.
prey come from?
Because there's a film called Eat, Pray, Love. So in between
I have
eat
never
and
heard
love,
of that film in my life.
in between eat and love is pray. Eat, pray, love. It works. It's genius. Should we do the community day, Shaun?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
Get moving on swiftly.
So the community day this week, it was a day late because, well, Shaun, sadly, Meg, how old was she? She was 15, wasn't she?
She was 15. Yep.
Lovely dog.
Ancient.
Unfortunately, she passed away over this past weekend, which was the weekend of the 15th and the 16th. So we just thought we'll hold off.
What?
Was
What
it the
day is it?
15th?
It's the 20th today and it's Tuesday.
Oh.
It's the
All right, well,
17th
it's
and
17th. 17th and 18th. So unfortunately, yeah, sorry, I was like in a somber moment. I'm sorry that I got the date wrong then, Shaun.
Right.
So Shaun's dog sadly passed away over that weekend. So we didn't want to do like a big community day over that time. And that is the reason why Shaun didn't play Worms Rumble, because he'd set aside the weekend to play it. And obviously that had happened, and not going to expect Shaun to keep up with a stupid podcast while all that's happening. So in
I'm
sort of,
glad I didn't as well now because I'd be fucking seething if I
you'd have been even
played
worse,
Worms
mate.
instead of gone to my parents. Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd been upset with Meg passing away, then you'd have been even more upset when you played Worms Rumble. It'd just been the shit icing on top of the cake. So we just thought, you know what, this week, let's dedicate our community question to Meg, because she was a little companion for us in the sort of early podcast that we did, 8 years ago, was it, Shaun?
It must be coming on that now. Yeah. It's been, well, no, probably, I think about 6 or 7 actually, because I think it was 8 years ago that I left uni.
We did our podcast. We did our first episode of our podcast before me and Shannon got together, and we've been together for 7.5 years now.
I mean, I didn't think we'd done it that quick after me coming back from uni.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
straight
right.
into it.
Right,
So she used to be this ever present, because we used to record the podcast at the bottom of Shaun's garden in a hedge. No, in a studio that is at the bottom of his parents' house.
While
There-
peeping on the neighbours.
It's not a studio anymore though, is it? It's an indoor swimming pool.
Yeah, half of it's a swimming pool now and half of it's like a log cabin.
So we used to record the podcast in there, and we'd do it like 1 a.m, and we'd record for like 4 hours straight. It was an absolute shit show.
It was a marathon each time.
It was horrendous. And one of the reasons that we can't quite believe that this podcast is going so well is because of how badly that one went. We didn't have any social media. We didn't advertise it. We had a website, but we didn't have any viewers. Like, I would be surprised if one person listened to that piece of shit show. So that's why it's quite surreal to us that we've got such an amazing following with this podcast. But Meg was always there, wasn't she, Shaun? She'd always come down and keep an eye on us.
Pant all the way through.
All the way through.
She was a serial panter.
If you thought that my pug was bad a few weeks ago, Meg would just sit there, like in between us recording, and just for like 4 hours non-stop.
It was loud.
It was constant. And so, with her being a companion to the show, we asked people in our amazing community to name some of their favourite companions in gaming. Now, Shaun, I'm going to start with you. Who is your favourite ever companion in a video game?
See, I had to, I couldn't settle on one. But first, I just want to say I am very surprised no one on the community day said Pokemon.
Yeah, not even me. And I've got them on my leg.
I was expecting that to be like the main thing people were saying, like different Pokemon, and there was no one.
Nope.
So the 4 that I've chosen, which I think you also said, and I don't know if anyone said it, was Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
And then the Palicos from Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Walt, the dog from Valiant Hearts, which is an amazing game. If
beautiful game.
Anyone listening hasn't played it, and then just Nintendogs.
Just all the Nintendogs.
I don't even want to admit how many hours I've sunk into multiple Nintendogs games.
I don't want to know, Shaun.
No, I don't want to dig out my old DS to find out either.
No. So you've got Nintendogs, Palicos.
Yeah, Walt from Valiant Hearts.
And Pinatas.
And Pokemon, just because no one else said it, which would really surprise me.
Well, my first pick that came to mind, and it's bizarre, mainly because I didn't really like the game very much, is Daxter. I liked the characters of Jack and Daxter, but the games weren't really my jam. I was much more of a Ty the Tasmanian Tiger guy.
Oh, God, I haven't heard that game in years.
However, I got a soft spot for Fudge Hogs from Viva Pinata. And I would also say that Sims 2 Pets, when that came out, I absolutely loved Sims 2. It was the best Sims game in my opinion. And I remember the Sims 2 Pets expansion coming out, and you were able to like build pet shops, and I used to love doing that. So yeah, Daxter, Fudge Hogs, Sims 2 Pets, they're my companions. Should we go through... Oh, sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, I was trying to think what my favourite pinata is if I had to like literally pick one.
Fudge Hogs. Just the name, it's amazing.
See, I like the ones that you have to like basically torment to evolve as well, like the
like the snakes.
What's it called?
What were they?
Well, and like the fly, and you have to get him
the
to
red
set
hots.
himself on fire to become a red hot.
Yeah. I'd give the red hots.
I'm gonna go Worm just because that's the only pinata I've got a tattoo of.
Also, it's the first pinata that you ever see.
It is,
and the woman goes, "It's a worm," and she like really over pronunciates worm. She says every
really
letter.
Shocked. Really shocked.
It's a worm.
Overly shocked at the most common fucking thing.
I know.
Like going to a nature trail and being like, "Oh, there's a fucking fly."
Look at that tree.
Oh, did you see that crow?
I just stood in dog shit. Well, talking of dog shit, there are quite a lot of dogs mentioned in the companions. So we've got the dog from Fable 2.
Yeah.
We've got dog meat, and we've also got the dog Old Boomer, whoever that is, from Far Cry 5. And I don't know if I'd classify it as a dog, but we've also got Red 13 from Final Fantasy 7. He's not really a dog, he's more of
like
a wolf.
a wolfy, wolfy dog.
So I'd like to say thank you to the people that all mentioned dogs, because we had a lot of them all come in, but there were a few that I didn't expect to see. So Timsy83, that is TIMBSY 83, he said chows from Sonic Adventure, because you could transfer them to your Sonic Adventure game on your Game Boy Advance, and then you could transfer them from there to your Dreamcast, and then you had like a little garden full of chows. So that was a very good one. C Unit Chris Jones said his companion from Suikoden 2, and his name was Luke. Don't know that game, but thank you. Duncan said Fable 2 dog. We've got Ellie, Miss Eloof, who said the little monkey from Sea of Thieves, because he touches himself quite a lot. So Cheers for that.
I don't know if that was her reason for liking him that much.
I'm gonna say that
I think
that's
she
canon.
just made it as a
Sean.
point.
No, that's canon. That's
I
Game
like
as
my
Watch
monkey
canon.
because it touches itself a lot.
Yeah, she likes perverted monkeys.
Actually, it's good. The companions in Sea of Thieves are actually really good. I do
Yeah,
carry my gato around
And
quite a
there
bit.
is nothing
And launch him
quite
out of cannons.
There's nothing quite like firing a pigeon out of a cannon with confetti. Also, I've
or
got
a monkey
pigeons.
who likes to touch himself a lot.
I've got a parrot story that I need to tell very shortly. Going to tell
Okay.
it at the end of the podcast. So, yeah, we had some amazing answers. We've also got Chocobos from Final Fantasy XIV. We had Boomer from Far Cry 5, BT7274 from Titanfall 2, Cheeseburger the Bear from Far Cry 5, the White Wolf Companion from AC Valhalla, Jack the Undead Monkey in Sea of Thieves: A Pirate Life, and the droid that flew around in Gears 5, possibly I think his name was Dave, Sarge said on Twitter. So thank you to everybody for your answers. They were all appreciated. Here's the next bit of the community day, Sean, and I still can't quite believe this.
Oh, I believe it. Always
Sir
knew it.
Crabbington Seaworthy beat Gaia. You're all
Get
wrong.
it made.
You're all wrong.
Sir Crabbington lives to fight another day.
And it wasn't even close.
Was it not?
64% Crabbington.
That's fairly close. There's only two options.
Yeah, but I don't get it, guys. You're all wrong. Well, you're not all wrong. 36% of you are right. And then the last little bit, Sean, you're going to enjoy this. We had 4 games up for Game Pass or Play. We had Blood Roots, 2 Point Hospital, Chris Tales, and Going Under. This was very close, and there was 1 vote between them. We're going to play 2 Point Hospital, Sean.
Woo! It's about damn time.
It is. It is about bloody time.
I can
Now-
finally fucking play it.
Just to let everyone know, I have already played 2 Point Hospital, but not in depth. So I'll be playing it again, and then I'll be letting everybody know what I think. And I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit better than Worms Rumble.
It's either going to be we both really agree with each other, or
I
this
love
is
it.
going to be
So-
this is going to be the new Desperados 3.
Mate, I already love it. So
Good.
I played it for like 2 hours. It's great. So
I
I'm gonna
imagine
play
I'm
it for
going to
even
love
more.
it. It looks like my exact sort of like weird humor in some parts as well.
Have you played Theme Hospital?
Yeah, I love Theme
Yeah.
Hospital.
So I don't know. I think we'll leave the little chat that I was thinking about having until we talk about this game, because
Yeah.
Theme Hospital is one of 3 games that sort of shaped my gaming my early gaming days, and the other 2 were Theme Park World and Roller Coaster Tycoon. So we'll talk about those when we talk about 2 Point Hospital. Now, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 stories to tell.
Right.
I'll very quickly tell one called Trigger Happy Harry. So you've probably seen this.
I saw one thing about it. Yeah, I haven't heard the
Okay.
full story yet though.
So what you've probably seen, Sean, you may have seen this, is our followers on Twitter. They've been fluctuating quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is that a certain somebody, and I'm not going to say his name, Garrett, he's been telling all of his followers to like block us. And quite funnily enough, is that they all unfollowed all in the space of one day, and we lost like 30 followers, which was hilarious.
Oh no.
Anyway, we gained them all back literally within a day, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But then something that I've seen is we'll gain like 15 followers in the space of an hour, and then we'll lose like 10 of them, and then we'll like lose 10 after that, and then we'll gain 8. And it's been really weird. We've been fluctuating between like sort of 1,300 and 1,350 followers for about 2 weeks now, sort of like dipping up and down. And I basically found out what it is that when we've been doing giveaways on Twitter, #giveaway means that giveaway bots find who you are and they like follow your page and then unfollow you. But also what
okay.
it means is that we've been targeted by follow bots because they can see people following us and then unfollowing us. And a lot of these follow bots are clearly very fake American right-wing political Twitter accounts. So it's all about guns, Jesus and church in that order. And as someone who is an anti-gun socialist atheist, I don't want those sort of accounts sort of clogging up our followers. So what I generally do is I find the bot accounts and I send them a stupid message and then I block them. So to give you an idea, we had somebody followed us and his bio was basically like Jesus rocks, Trump for life, that sort of stuff. And I sent him a message back just saying, don't know if you know this, but Jesus used to bum people. Like, and then quickly blocked him because that's just a stupid, funny thing to do.
Okay.
Now this is where it gets a little bit funny. We had an account follow us, and yeah, the bio was like, our Second Amendment rights should always be more important, and the bit of paper that they signed 300 years ago means that I should be able to carry an AR-15 into a school and blow the fuck out of people. If you can't tell, I think guns are stupid, and you're never going to change my mind. And it's certainly a 300-year-old bit of paper will not change my mind on whether or not people should have literal killing machines strapped to them or not. But I sent this bot account a message and it said, yo, guns are dumb as fuck. And then I blocked him, but it wasn't a bot.
Let's say.
And look, funnily enough, is I have been talking to the person who I spammed, who I thought was spam, and we're totally fine now. And we did have a quick discussion about things, and it was like, you think one thing, I think the other, but the reason that I said that was because I thought you were spam, so I'm very sorry. But what's really funny is that after he had like publicly been like, yo, Gamers Watch podcast just said that guns are dumb as fuck. I used to believe everything they said about GPN, but now I don't know what to believe. And then I apologized and was like, look, dude, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean that. He turned around and said, we've had a talk. We've cleared things up. And actually, GPN does look dodgy as fuck. He's now been blocked by Garrett. It's amazing. Now, the other story that I needed to tell you involves a parrot, Shaun. And this is a very, very quick story. So,
okay.
At my job, I'm a sales rep. So I talk to a lot of different customers. And there is a customer of mine at the Totnes branch who has a pet parrot. And to give people an idea, so the story isn't so much about the guy having a parrot. The story is, to give you an idea of the area that me and Shaun live in, is that when I said to the branch manager, I'm speaking to this customer, and I couldn't remember his name, and I said, it's the one that comes in with the parrot, his response was, that doesn't really narrow it down. Apparently, there are 7 customers that go into the Totnes store.
Oh, wow.
That take birds in with them. 3 of them take parrots, 2 of them take hawks, and 2 of them take owls.
That kind of doesn't surprise me with Totnes, to be honest. It's one of those places for people that don't like live around here, so don't know about Totnes.
It's the Portland of Devon, is the only way I can explain it.
You can have an entirely different entertainment experience from driving through it every time, or like at least one thing will catch your eye when you're going through that makes you go like, the fuck.
So when
is
I
happening?
used to work about 2 hours away from where I lived, and I used to have to drive through Totnes. I had to call in late to work once because 300 chickens had escaped somebody's house and had run onto the roads.
It's also it's just, I don't want to say strange, but it's very strange because it's like a very artsy town.
Yeah.
But it's in like farmer territory, obviously being in the southwest. So it's like farmers mixed with art, and it's
bizarre.
It's the wackiest place I've ever been to.
It's great though. But just to sum up,
it's fun being there. But
to sum up where me and Shaun live near is that when I said it's the customer with the parrot, that didn't narrow it down enough. It's ridiculous.
I really
Utterly
hope
ridiculous.
I really hope those customers with parrots use them like the Flintstones, where like he's laying bricks and he's like, I need more cement, and it just pans to the parrot like on the cement mixer, like,
yes,
it's a living.
Well, I know that one of them is blind. That narrowed it down slightly. He said,
"Is it the man or the parrot?"
The parrot. Yeah, no, the guy's blind and the parrot leads him left, right. You should see him driving, mate. It's a fucking nightmare. Again, Shaun, we're getting to the end of the podcast and it's devolving into utter madness.
Dissolved.
It's
it's
just
too hot.
our brains are fried. We've got
Too
one
fucking
last
hot.
thing we're going to talk about before we go. The dumbest trailer that's ever been made, and it's so annoying.
It rivals our fog trailer for lack of anything shown about the game.
Yeah, to give people an idea, the trailer that we made for Fog was a picture of a boat in fog and me saying, "There's fog," and that was it. It was
It's
so bad.
Not even an exaggeration. That's all it was.
That was all it was. I was like,
It was a
I'm
3D
in
model.
fog.
It's a 3D model of a fishing boat that I made, and I just had it slowly going across the waves, like coming towards the camera through some fog, with the like searchlight thing shining into the camera.
And then me doing my best like impression of being on a radio, like breaker, breaker. There's fog. This is FOG Daddy 101. Come in, breaker, breaker. We got a convoy here.
Just 30 seconds of that in just freeze frames to fog.
And I remember when we finished that, we were like, chef kiss, this is genius.
It was the best thing I'd ever produced at that point.
And then, well, it still is, to be fair. And then I remember we were interviewed by like a German indie website, and they were like, when do you expect Fog to come out? And you were like, we're hoping late next year. And it's been 9 years. And nothing.
I just love, they asked every question they asked us. In my mind, I was like, I don't know.
Fuck knows.
We were so well prepared as game devs.
It was so ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I remember we put posters up and everything in a shop. We were so proud.
We did. Poster. We had it playing on like a projector fucking thing at the shop.
Yeah, oh, mate. Oh, this
One
is
day,
bringing
fog will
back
happen.
so much cringe. So we had it on a projector and we sat people down and we were like, here's our trailer
of a boat.
to watch 30 seconds of a boat in fog.
People liked it as well somehow.
Because they're idiots, Shaun.
Oh God!
Christ.
One day we'll make fog when we have.
We won't, Shaun. We won't.
Will.
We genuinely won't.
It's like one out of all the like shitty game design ideas I've jotted down. Fog is one of the ones where I can like vividly imagine it the most in my head, like playing out. So I still want to make it at some point, and the story as well, which obviously I won't spoil because otherwise there's no point making it.
Am I
thought it was
mad
really
when I think that we wanted Danny DeVito to be in it?
Oh, I want Danny DeVito and everything.
I think I'm mad for saying that. I think I remember Danny DeVito being involved somehow. I don't know why.
Mick Foley will be in there now as well.
yeah, it's just gonna be Mick Foley, but it's gonna be Mick Fogley. And it's gonna be him.
Copyright.
Just him, and he's a tugboat captain. And that's it. Just Mick Foley just driving around in a tugboat. Christ. Should we talk about the worst trailer ever, Shaun?
Yeah.
Skate 4 trailer.
Oh.
What the fuck was the point?
There wasn't one.
It was
really
literally 2 minutes of people saying, oh, this looks good. What looks good? They didn't show what looks good.
No.
Look how cool this looks. What?
It was 2 minutes. I mean, I'm not. I like skate games, but obviously I'm not like you, where I avidly play them, sort of thing. Like I enjoy them, but I'll play
1,000
them in
hours of
between.
Skate 3.
Yeah, I'll play them like in between other games, sort of thing. So it doesn't affect me as much, but it feels like, for when I watched it, that it was basically a trailer of rubbing it into all the diehard skate fans that all these influencers have got to see the game about 2 years before they will.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, look how cool this looks. You can't fucking see this, but this shit looks great. I bet you wish you were me, you nerd, but you're not. So suck on those eggs. Yeah, utterly pointless. I was so hyped. I genuinely thought I was going to see some gameplay. They put a statement out the day before, like, you're not going to see some gameplay. And I was like, we're going to see gameplay. What a disappointment.
I don't see why they needed to do that.
They didn't. They
Like,
genuinely didn't.
Genuinely would have been better if they just done
nothing.
a 10-second teaser at the EA Live event.
It would have been
now
better
been
if they had just had like one of the CEOs like duct taped to a skateboard just get pushed on. And it just goes from one side to the other in one motion, and he just goes, Skate 4 is coming soon. And then that's all that you hear, and he just like off he goes, and they're like, cool, Skate 4 anyway, and they move on to a completely new game. That would have been better. But no, they have to show other people watching the trailer that they should have fucking shown us. Do you know what it reminded me of? It
Oh.
reminded me of, like, teenagers react to, but they forgot to put the video that they're reacting to in the corner.
the little oh fuck, what are they called?
The little pop-out video.
Like, yeah, video in video.
Yeah, so they forgot to put the video there, and they were
Picture in picture.
and they were like, oh shit, it's rendered now, what do we do? And they're like, fuck it, release it, who cares? Let's make a bit more money on Ultimate Team. Call it a day.
Just get someone to quickly record a line saying, oh, what a tease at the end.
Yeah. Oh, God, bet you wish you were looking at this, don't you? Hey? Yeah, we do.
Those 7 years were worth the wait, weren't they?
Yeah, what a great way to introduce skate. Fucking brilliant. Dickheads.
I don't get, because they announced... Dickhead. Because they announced it last year, didn't they?
They did, and they only started development. They only had a team in January.
So why? I just don't... It's not even like a surprise announcement.
No.
Like, if that was the first thing you'd ever heard about
I'd be
the new
like,
skate,
whoa, no way.
then yeah, that would be good. But everyone knew it was already happening now.
Yeah, I know. It's like in the prequels to Star Wars when they try and hide that Palpatine is a Sith Lord. And it's like, dude, we know it's him. Like, we're aware of that fact. Stop hiding his face. We get it. That's what it reminded me of. They're like, I bet you never heard of skate before. It's like, the reason we're here is because we know that it's happening. Like, shut up and show us the game.
Imagine if they do that for every game at the EA Live event, which would have been 2 days ago at the time of this actually airing.
That would be hilarious.
Like they're like, oh, here's you've all been waiting for Dead Space Remastered, and it's just
somebody playing it, but it's just the camera's just on their face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's someone going, oh, you would not believe how fucking scary this is.
Yeah. Ooh, spooky. What's spooky? Show me.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Well, on that utter crushing disappointment that is Skate 4 Dev Diary, should we call it a day, Shaun?
That was the shortest diary entrance ever.
Utterly shit. Dear Diary, today...
It's coming.
The end. Dear Diary, night, ridiculous. And on
Dear
that...
Diary, if only you could see what I was writing right now.
And on that, keep on listening.
Please, and keep on gaming.
What a shit show. What a shit show. What a shit show.